Hi everyone, I am Audra Pittman from Savannah College of Art and Design, and I'm here at the Atlanta Innovation Studio, powered by MailChimp, at the A3C Festival. Like, going on in the gathering spots, there's a lot going on, a lot of music, but I am so privileged and honored to be joined by the Frank Patterson of Trilith Studios. Frank.
Hi Audra, it's good to see you again.
Welcome. Frank, why are you looking at me like that?
Oh my gosh, I just learned that I was going to appear on camera with you, Miss Fabulous and Brilliant,
oh my God.
and I was like,
Fabulous
oh my
and
gosh,
Frank.
please.
It's our new show.
I cannot believe we're doing this, but anyway. By the way, congratulations on everything that's going on at SCAD.
Well, congrats
Amazing.
to you too.
Yeah.
I just feel like we have this natural synergy. We graduate our students, we send them over to Trilith,
I know,
right?
and you all do such a great job. You know, the leading art school who has a great focus in our world, in filmmaking, right,
yeah.
and storytelling. So I really appreciate all the work you and Paula and the whole team do.
Yes, yes. Well, Frank, I want to know. You know, I was kind of trying to, figure out what's happening at Trilith, and I know you can't talk about a lot, but what's happening for people who don't know about Trilith? I mean, everyone knows about Trilith, but what's happening?
Well, I think you know, we're here located about 20 minutes south of the airport, our fabulous airport,
yes.
and we have a history of doing big projects for the Walt Disney Company and Warner and Marvel. Right now, as you might imagine, we're packed. We have those are projects I can't really talk about, but as you might imagine, we have a lot of streaming projects, and we have some features. We have a couple of independent projects coming too that we're excited about. But you know, like most of the world, we're packed.
Yeah.
We're making content as fast as it can be made.
Okay.
I think you know we were not, as an industry across the world, we were not making content fast enough.
Wow.
Before COVID hit, right? Everyone started subscribing to the streaming services. We started watching and consuming more content and more content. And we got to a place where really Wall Street's pouring more money into the film industry than we in the industry had the capacity to produce.
Even do that. Wow.
Right? That was before COVID, before everybody went home and started watching all the content.
Started watching all the content and subscribing.
While we had to stop making the content. So, you know, like, as you know, we're all trying to catch up, working long hours. We averted a strike. I was so happy to see our friends who are producers and our friends that are labor agreed to work together and to make some important changes for safety.
Right.
So anyway, very busy. We also, I think you know, you and I have talked about this a couple of years ago. We launched a technology pillar and a content pillar.
Wow, tell us more about that. What's going on?
Well, on the technology side, we all know, and you know this at SCAD, that there are a lot of technologies that are emerging right now that can really help filmmakers iterate and scale content. And so we'll be making an announcement next week that I'm very excited about.
Want to be there? Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, it just further promotes the kind of relationships we have with you in education because they're highly technical jobs that require a sort of artistic eye.
Right.
We're focusing a lot of our efforts, I think everyone knows, on virtual production.
That's awesome.
And you know, this is where gaming and the gaming industry meets.
It all collides.
Filmmaking and entertainment. And I think after the announcement next week, I think we're going to be able to say that we in Atlanta, we in Georgia, have the gold standard for virtual production, and I'm real excited about it.
Listen, Frank,
because you guys at SCAD have been in this for a while.
That XR, everything. It's just like the Mandalorian. People watch it, and you have to be future forward. You have to think about what's going to be the next thing. I tell people who come in here, I said 20 years ago, you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have Instagram. All these jobs didn't exist. So now you have to think about the next 20 years and what's going to exist. How do you prepare them? So we're here. I mean, you know, you think about Atlanta, you think music, tech, innovation, culture. You're a big selling point when I have people come for admissions tours. I'm like, well, there's Trilith down the road. Help people understand the different kinds of jobs that are in the industry. I think a lot of times people think of actors and actresses and a director, and like that's what happens. But you're talking about technology, and what other kind of skill sets do people need to be able to work in this film and TV industry that's booming?
Well, it's interesting. All kinds of what we typically classify as white collar and blue collar jobs, right? I mean, we call them in the movie business. I never liked this term, but above the line and below the line. You know, the creatives, the writers, the directors, and then of course all the crew members who are really the most amazing people in the world. They range from, of course, famous jobs like cinematography to less known jobs of groomsmen and women, people who are the landscape artists who really make a particular setting great, you know. And so the average film on our lot will have 1,500 crew members.
Wow.
And they are all kinds of skills, from carpentry and electricians, and by the way, these are all people who also, you may think of them, for example, as an electrician, but they have a keen eye for light and how light plays a role in storytelling, for example.
I joke with my husband, I said, warm, cool lights, our house, you mess it up. It looks like a clinical hospital. It can change the whole story and narrative.
That's exactly right.
Now, Frank, I was joking with you earlier, your son's in college, and I'm trying to recruit him. He's studying English. You know, we have a master's in dramatic writing, creative writing. This lends itself again to film and TV.
You do.
You know, I think people don't really understand how the talent pipeline to build Georgia, to build this, what you have, what we have, investing and keeping people here, keeping the talent here and creating events like this is pretty crucial.
Well, what's neat about Atlanta, and one of the reasons I think when we were originally Pinewood's Atlanta Studios, and one of the core reasons that I think the Pinewood Group identified Atlanta was for the emerging talent base, right? We already have a great reputation in tech globally, and so we have a global reputation for young talent. And by the way, as you know, Atlanta was a media center long before the film incentive, right?
Totally.
In the 1990s with Turner and then Tyler, and then, you know, and so we were really a perfect place for not only this industry, but also to grow the next generation of talent. And so what you're doing at SCAD and some of our other institutions are doing to really prepare that talent pipeline is absolutely critical to our success. I mean, literally, we couldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here without it. And, you know, the joke is there's a war on talent. We all know it. We're all trying to get talent. There's no such thing as a war. It's over. The talent won. They get anything they want, you know? And so I just encourage, as I've spoken to your students and others, just focus, work hard, learn your craft, and this world of entertainment, as illustrated here at A3C. I mean, this is the most amazing festival and conference. I mean, for those who've never attended, it is really, it's been a centerpiece now for over a decade in the music industry, and this new direction of expanding into entertainment and to tech is really exciting, and it's very specific Georgia. I love it. You know, it's very specific Georgia, so we're excited to be here and to share what we're doing at Trilith.
Well, listen, I want to come visit. I haven't been. I just need you to know.
No, that's not true.
I have not been.
Are you serious?
You got to describe.
How long have we known each other?
Forever. Things have been, but I'm going to come by.
See, I thought when Paula was here last time, you came.
Y'all went. She went. I had to run the Atlanta campus.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I had to do that kind of thing. But I want, like, describe for people at home. It's not just like these big sets. You're doing something a little bit different with your studio. And why is it different?
Trilith, this is what's interesting. We sort of pivoted when we bought out the interest in Pinewood and took another direction. We expanded our direction. As you know, Pinewood's a great facilities company. Always will be. They're really the best. We wanted to expand into sort of from purpose-built facilities to a purpose-built place. So that included making investments in content and technology, but also in building a town as part of the studio. So we'll have 1,400 homes done in the next few years here. We have about 300 now. We have about 600 people living there. We have restaurants, office buildings.
This is like a live, work, play.
It's basically, if we could do the contemporary version of what Mr. Disney did in Burbank, you know, where, and as you know, it's so beautiful where we are. Atlanta is such a beautiful place, and South Metro is beautiful. You know, and our producers from London and Los Angeles, they fly in to the most traveled airport in the world. 20 minutes later, they're on our sets.
They're right there.
And, you know, we're the second largest studio facility, purpose-built studio facility in North America, with now over 1,000 acres, and including the town. And it's just, the way we look at it, we're building a place where the brightest minds can come and execute on anything they can imagine. So that's why we look to your students. We're looking for the brightest minds to come, do anything they can imagine. That's what we're building.
All right. Now, for someone, you know, I'm thinking about this industry, and we're going to be talking with Paul Judge and venture capitalists, and
Paul's amazing.
How does that intersect with your world? Help people understand.
In every way possible. I mean, everything we do is driven. And by the way, the film business and storytelling in the contemporary modern world has been driven by technology. So what Paul and other tech innovators here in Atlanta have done so well is find new and emerging opportunities. So for example, what just happened with Mark Golan and Rhodey and UPS,
oh my gosh.
that's so exciting.
Right.
And that's UPS with their headquarters here in Atlanta, being in touch with our tech ecosystem, in this case Mark and what he was doing with Rhodey. That is an Atlanta story, right? And there are many of them being driven here at the intersection between the film industry, entertainment more broadly, and tech here in Atlanta. It's exciting.
Okay. Now, Frank, we have a couple more minutes, but do you have any concerns about the future of film, TV? What are we missing? What are the gaps? What else do we need to do? Any threats to this industry, or what are you thinking?
I mean, setting aside some of the larger global threats that we all worry about, you know, having just come mostly through a pandemic and what's going on in the world, setting that aside, there is no ceiling to the opportunity right now because, as an example, regardless of what you think of driverless cars, you know, Tesla updated a few versions ago where it came with a new Netflix and came with a free Netflix subscription.
Wait, so, drive it and watch it TV. Hold on.
I know,
hold on.
It sounds dangerous right now, but look, that represents almost 1 billion found hours of time. And so I like to believe that we're going to be working and taking care of business. No, you know what we're going to be doing? We're going to be consuming content. So there's
catching
just
up all your
not
series.
enough, there's literally not enough people and resources today to keep up with the channels of consumption that happen today.
Right.
It's only going to become a bigger challenge and a bigger opportunity in the years to come. So that's it.
Frank, see, that was easy. That was easy. This guy thought I was going to put him on the spot. I mean, it's a conversation. I am so impressed by all that you've done in the few short years here in Atlanta. I look forward to much more, and again, sending our SCAD students your way.
Yeah. And thank you. And I really appreciate what you're doing at SCAD. It makes a huge difference for our industry.
All right, well, here to help. So stay tuned. We got some more coming through A3C Festival. I think Paul Judge, some other great tech innovators in this space in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Audra.